Not get rid of the TPS, but that's the only hope, that's the only future we have for now.
Gio Castro Hernandez is an El Salvadorian immigrant living the American dream. His businesses in Waynesboro, Gio's Treasures and Little Gio's food truck, has been so successful that once a year he's able to feed the hungry. Last year he fed more than 300 people.
It was a lot of homeless people. It was a lot of people, they would come to me and cry and say, I need to feed my baby, I need bread and milk, I need $5, I need $10, give me this for something for this. What I would do, I would buy the item from them, and give it what they need, That's the stories I got from mothers and fathers. And a lot of people, it just continues to happen all the time, so I decided to come with giving something to our community.
But recently, his stay in Shenandoah Valley has become a risk. President Donald Trump and his administration are closing the doors to America and asking some immigrants, including El Salvadorians, to leave. The Department of Homeland Security has announced the end of temporary protective status for immigrants from El Salvador, Haiti, Sudan, and Nicaragua, according to CNN.
I was between 13 and 14, decided to move from home because, we don't have, what I heard, it was, United States was so nice and how wonderful people will become and you will be a different person. I had to cross the border. And that was the only way I was able to come here, because otherwise I don't have no clue how to come here or how to do the right paperwork or how to do the right things, and you don't have no clue what you have, what you're getting into. Because I know how hard it was when I was there. I was crying pretty much every day, want to go back, but I never did. So I decided, being so poor and living on that kind of life where you don't have no school, basically you just in the middle of nowhere without opportunities, basically.
Hernandez admits leaving El Salvador was very difficult for him.
Back when I was 13 and 14, a border patrol stopped me and a few other guys, and they stopped us, and basically they put you in a facility for underage kids when they cross the border. And I was there for 6 months in the building. Of course, the teacher, you go to school there. They take you out once a week or once a month, and it was great. It was great. So after that, they released me from there to my uncle. Back on, it was 1998.
He was released to an uncle living in Charlotte, North Carolina. In 2009, he moved to Harrisonburg to live with another uncle.
What I did for a living was I started working in a restaurant, like a pizza place, restaurants, and stuff like that. At first, it was very hard for me because, I was working 12 hours a day with no English, with no friends, no communication with people. So that was kind of difficult.
In Harrisonburg, he worked at a pizza parlor for 6 years, saving enough money to open Gio's Treasures in 2012.
I want to buy stuff from customers, I want to trade, and I want to help people.
His history of hardship in the U.S. reminds him to do what he can to lend a hand to others.
I know how difficult it is for when you want to sell something, because I lived that too. It was so hard for me to go and try to sell something. There were other places that turn you down, they say no, they specialize in one item.
Which is unlike Gio's Treasure, where you can find a large selection of things, from washing machines, DVDs, toys, and even glassware. But now Hernandez could be facing deportation. El Salvador TPS immigrant status is scheduled to end September 9th, 2019. Hernandez says if he's forced to return to El Salvador, he is concerned about trying to build a future there.
My biggest fear is, I guess, the games and all that. I can't do what I do here. It's different. If I do some kind of business like this over there, I wouldn't say I wouldn't last long.
TPS status for immigrants from Sudan is scheduled to end November 2nd, 2018. TPS status for immigrants from Nicaragua is scheduled to end January 5, 2019. TPS status for immigrants from Haiti is scheduled to end July 22, 2019. The DHS is reporting it's been 17 years since the 2001 earthquake in El Salvador. The DHS says, and I quote, "The temporary inability of El Salvador to adequately return their nationals after the earthquake has been addressed." End of quote. And where does Trump's newest immigration policy ban leave Hernandez?
I talked to my lawyer at the same time. She's like, oh, you don't have no chance, even though I've been here 20 years. So I don't know what other solution I have or what to do at this point from now on.
In Waynesboro, Elaine Rackley for Breaking Through News.